peace to all of you. All praise be to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for his mercy to endure forever. Once again, we're going to be doing marriage 103. Those of you that may have missed 101 and 102, they are on YouTube. They're labeled as such. You can get those classes and get that information and get all those scriptures that we went over in the first two classes on marriage. I'm not going to go into the same scriptures that I went to the first two classes. It's a lot of information. It's a compile of information. So, we can be fully instructed on how to operate in marriage, where marriage comes from, what's the purpose, how do we be successful in marriage, how do we perform acceptable roles as husband and wife according to what's written in the scripture. With all that being said, let's see Colossians 3, verse 17. First and foremost, give it all thanks to that word Lord. What's the word Lord in Hebrew? What's that word? How you say that word?
Elohim?
Nope. Spouse.
Oh, that's powers.
Adawan.
All right. The Adawan. All right. Adawan means Lord or ruler. Okay. Lord or ruler. Head. Okay. So the wives are instructed for first, the husband and the wife is instructed to submit themselves one to another in the fear of the Most High. Meaning that the fear of the Most High has to be what runs the house. Right? If the Most High said, this is what we're going to do. If he say we should not, it's not what we're going to do. But let's say we don't, let's say we break the commandments. Right? Let's say the husband breaks the commandments or the wife breaks the commandment. They have to be able to be what? Corrected via the commandment of the Most High. That's why the scriptures say this. Hold that and get Peter's. The third chapter. First Peter's.
Chapter 3, verse 1.
No. Verse 7.
The book of First Peter, chapter 3, verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge,
Right?
giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel,
Right?
and as being heirs together of the grace of life.
Right. So what? Heirs together of the grace of life. The woman is to be respected as the weaker vessel. Right? What does that weaker mean? It's going into being more susceptible to the wiles of Shaitan. How do we know that the woman is more susceptible to the wiles of Shaitan? Right? Let's get let's get Romans. Let's get Romans. Romans. No. It says, yeah, let the woman learn the signs. Give me that. Give me 1 Corinthians 14.
34.
It's the same, yeah, 34. This concept is uttered a few times over in the scripture. Right? So we have to find what we want it, the right to the point.
You say Hebrews or Romans?
No, let's get 1 Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 14.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 34. Let your woman keep silence in the churches.
Let's look at this. Read on.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak,
Right?
but they are commanded to be under obedience.
Under what?
Under obedience.
So now, how is speaking the opposite of obedience? Right? You gotta look at the whole precept, what it's saying. It's saying the woman is not to speak, but to be under obedience. So what does this mean? She's not supposed to speak what? Does she mean she can't talk? Read.
She can't speak out of turn.
Out of turn. That's it. Right? To speak any other way, right? What would obedience have to do with that? Obedience means it's got to be under control, not just blurting things out, not just, whatever comes to mind, just bring it out, right? Be under obedience. Be calm. Sometimes you might not understand as a woman, like, I don't get this. But you still got to be in obedience. You raise your hand, right? And you'll be called on. Right? But if you're not called on, you still got to be under obedience. Right? Read on.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 34.
Let's see why.
As also saith the Lord, and if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands.
Ask who?
Ask their husbands.
Read on.
At home.
Where?
At home.
Read on.
For it is a shame for the woman to speak in the church.
Right. So it says, ask her husband at home. So what is it saying about her husband? Well, her husband should be able to what? Teach her. Right? He's supposed to have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Or else why would she go home and ask and he go, I don't know. Right? How's she gonna get understanding? Go back to Peter's. Read that verse again.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands,
Right?
dwell with them according to knowledge.
So what is that telling you to do?
To gain knowledge, study the word.
Dwell with them according to knowledge.
Have a wife according to knowledge.
Have a wife according to knowledge?
Like if you have
How you do that? I'm like, man, she look good. I look at her knowledge. Right?
Deal with them as far as how the scriptures are saying to do.
Right, but do what? Dwell with them. Dwell. Spend time with them, right? Dwelling is time, right? You're spending time with them according to knowledge. You know what? When you spend time with them, what are you supposed to be doing? You got to teach them. You got to teach them. All right? You have to bring forth wisdom. Sometimes you can teach. You don't always got to bust out the scripture. Sometimes you can paraphrase scripture or show them something. You could be watching something, referencing laws. We all got these things here now, cell phones. If you don't got a Bible app on your phone is incomplete. All right? You should have the Bible, the Apocrypha, the Strongs, right? All of that on your phone. So you go, that's right here in the scriptures. At any point in time, you can bring forth scripture because that's your job. If you don't do that and your wife is in the house going crazy, you got to take some responsibility. Okay? Because the Most High said we first got to submit ourselves one to another, right? In the fear of the Most High. That's first and foremost. We can come together. Everybody got urges. Every animal got urges, right? Right? Dogs lay with other dogs, right? You sleeping with a woman is no great feat, right? You don't get a reward. You don't get a pat on the back. Now in this society, you just might, right? But when you realize even fish have intercourse, it's not really that big of a deal. But how are you going to be different than fish and dogs and mice, right? How are you going to stand uprightly and walk as the Most High created you to walk? You have to perform this thing called marriage. Because animals have intercourse, and people say, well, intercourse is marriage. I don't know. Because if intercourse is marriage, then what's the harder? Is she married to everybody? She ain't married to nobody. Right? But she has not submitted herself to anybody. Everybody understand this? So we gotta be careful what we say. Okay? He said, if a man lie with a woman, he said, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. Meaning that now he has to make her his wife because he laid with her. You know? That's supposed to come right after that. If it didn't come before it, it's supposed to come right after it. It should have came before it. Should have had the, the dowry, dealt with the father. We went over that in part 2 of his class, right? We went over the dowry, we went over all that understanding. But if you didn't do that, because we Israelites, we kind of rush into things sometimes, right? In the aftermath, you say, all right, well, now I got to go do it, all right? Because I have to make this woman my wife. It's not like, okay, I slept with you, you're my wife, shalom. It doesn't work that way, all right? I got you, you're my wife. I've heard stories. Where you holding?
I'm in 1 Peter 3 and 7.
Read again.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 7.
Right?
Likewise, ye husbands,
Right?
dwell with them according to knowledge,
Right?
giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel,
Right?
and as being heirs together of the grace of life.
Right, the grace of life. The grace of life. What is another word for grace?
Mercy.
Mercy. When do you need mercy? When you what? When you sin. You don't need grace and mercy if you don't go off. What you need grace and mercy for? You're on point. Right? Grace and mercy only applies when you break the commandments of the Most High. So he said, be joint heirs of the grace and mercy, of the grace of life. Meaning that there's a grace that you have because you're alive. When we sin, and we do sins that's punishable by death, right? But we still living. That's only because the Most High is merciful. Right? If you've done a sin, if you've been guilty of a sin that was punishable by death, and you still breathing, the Most High has shown you mercy. And has shown you grace. So I could attest, for myself and probably everybody else in this room, that if it wasn't for mercy and grace, we wouldn't be here. Huh? All right? Huh? Okay.
Psalm 130, verse 3 to 4.
Okay, let's get that. Let's precept about mercy and grace.
Yeah.
No.
Verse 3 to 4.
133.
Mm-hmm. Psalms 130, verses 3 and 4.
The book of Psalm, chapter 130, verse 3. If thou, Lord, shouldest mark iniquities, O Lord.
Right, if you would have marked iniquities, if you would have made a permanent list of everything that we did wrong,
Who shall stand?
who would be alive? Read on.
But there is forgiveness with thee.
There's what?
There is forgiveness with thee.
There's forgiveness with the Most High. Yeah, that's why we all here. Read on.
That thou mayest be feared, I wait for the Lord.
Right.
My soul doeth wait, and in his word do I hope.
In his word do I what?
In his word do I hope.
Right, do you have hope? Right, hope is what? Hope is about the future. Okay. Hope is where faith lies with hope. So we got to really look at this thing and say, man, we joint heirs of this grace of life. Meaning that we both gonna go off. We both gonna fall short. You the weaker vessel, you might even fall short more than me, but I can't disrespect you. The scripture said, honor you. Honor her as a weaker vessel. That means you gotta have that wisdom to understand you're the weaker vessel. I need to be the stronger vessel. I can't become weaker than the weaker vessel. Then what am I?
The weaker vessel.
Did I become the weaker vessel? Right? That's all out of order. Right? A lot of our women in this society, because a lot of our men are not fully formed, right? There's a situation that goes on that they have to be the stronger vessel. That's a recipe for destruction, right? If the man is more emotional and more unstable and more unable to determine and come with wisdom, and his wife was the one that got to instruct him with everything. This is a problem here. The problem is a big problem. Right? You see, you might see a lot of it. You know, a lot of people say, well, you know, this society is geared towards the woman, and it is. It is. You know, when it comes to finances, you know, our women, you know, in this society are able to get more finances easier than men. You know what I mean? The quicker to be hired, things of that sort. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it doesn't mean that it has to stay, that you give up. You know what I mean? That you still got to press on. You still got to be a man about yours. Everybody understand that? All right. Why is that? Why am I saying this? Get Ecclesiasticus in your pockets. Where you go? You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going.
That's my fear too.
The book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 22.
Read that.
A woman, if she maintain her husband,
If she does what?
if she maintain her husband,
Read on.
is full of anger.
It's full of what?
Is full of anger.
If she maintain her husband, she's full of anger. What does it mean by maintain her husband?
Take care of it.
What do you mean take care? Shouldn't your wife take care of you?
Take charge. We on the
Take
one.
what?
Take charge.
Have to take charge. That's what it's talking about, maintain. Meaning she gotta watch you. But she don't know what you're gonna do. You in the house getting drunk, getting high. You supposed to go to work. You don't want to get up and work. She gotta wake you up to go to work. You know, did you do this? Did you put the garbage out? Did you what the hell's going on here? Fully formed men should not have to hear this from their woman. Anybody understand that? What makes a man fully formed?
I don't have the precept, but doing the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
That's right. Get Ecclesiastes.
12.
13, you know this.
But Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Read.
Fear God.
Do what?
Fear God.
Fear the Most High. Read on.
And keep his commandments.
And keep his commandments. Read on.
For this is the whole duty of man.
But this is the whole duty of man. When man is fully formed and he's in his highest state, he's serving the Most High. And when he's in that state of serving the Most High, there's certain things that he won't have to suffer. There's certain things that he should know. There's certain things that he should need to be instructed on because he's rolling as a man. Give me Isaiah 32, verse 1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 1. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and a prince shall rule in judgment.
Now, princes and kings are they men or women?
Men.
Princes and kings are men. Everybody understand this? You are princes and kings in exile, in captivity. Right? You're not just anybody's or nobody's, so to say. Right? You're princes and kings in exile, in captivity. This is how you got to view yourself. You can only expect nothing less from yourself. When you got to check it out, you feeling you got weak nature on you that you got to kick off. But man, I'm a king. I can't move like this. I'm a prince. I can't move like this. I can't be out of control. I can't be out of, can't instruct myself, can't control myself. Because what do kings and princes do again? Read that again.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness,
Mm-hmm.
and a prince shall rule in judgment.
Right, shall rule in judgment. Meaning that you gotta have the answers. You gotta make the call. You gotta decide what's right and wrong. That's your job. Is this clear?
God.
Is that like father and son? Or in a leadership?
Leadership role. Whether you're the king, whether you're a prince, you're still in a leadership role. Right? And men being in a leadership role, they're like kings and princes of their, like you know what they say, well, who's the king of this castle? If you're at home, right? You're supposed to be the king of your castle, the prince of your rulership, right? So you are able to what? Make judgment calls. Right, wrong, left, right. Now, later, tomorrow, today, next week. Who makes that decision? If you're the type of man that sit back and let your woman make all those decisions, she's maintaining you. This is not, everybody read that scripture and they automatically go to finance. It don't matter who makes the most money, right? If the woman make more money, so what? Right? If she's outside that door, she has to spend more money, right? So if she's in here, she makes most money, that's good, right? Take care of most of those things. But as a man, you got to be able to what? Instruct. Okay? Because wisdom without, money without wisdom is lost. Right? The wisdom is what makes the money do what it needs to do. Everybody understand that? You can have a little money with wisdom and do more than somebody got a whole bunch of money and is a damn fool. Right? Spending money frivolously on nonsense. Right? 40 years old, you went to New Jordans. What the hell is going on with you? Like you got the first day of school or something. What the hell you think? Right? We see it though. Right? But it's in the scripture. Does it make sense? We're supposed to move like a prince and a king. We know.
Book of Isaiah chapter 32, verse 2.
Yeah.
And a man.
A what?
And a man.
And a man, read on.
Shall be as an hindering.
No. Read it again.
And a man shall be as in hiding place.
Right.
From the wind.
From the what?
From the wind.
A man is supposed to be so strong. He's supposed to be like a hiding place from the wind. Storm is coming. You know, we live in South Florida, so we know the wind ain't gonna play no games a certain time of the year. Wind ain't nothing to play with, right? Wind will knock the building down. But if you got a storm in that building, it ain't going nowhere, right? A man supposed to be like that. Like, yo, there's problems out here. I need to go with my man, my husband, and hear what he got to say. He's gonna know what to do. She's got to have that mentality. How is she going to have that mentality? By the way you conduct yourself. This is the root of creating a situation of marriage that will last a lifetime. Right? Sometimes you don't got to, when you carry a certain way, you don't got to ask for respect. You're going to get it. Right? It's going to have to be given to you because of the way you move. Right? Read on.
And they covered from the tempest as rivers of water in a dry place.
Now, if you're in a dry place, all you want is some water. That man is supposed to be like rivers of water in a dry place. Right? What's needed. Read on.
As the shadow of a great rock in weary land.
Right? You're in a desert land, the sun is beaming, and you find some shade. You're going to be happy for that shade. That's what he's supposed to be like. You know?
And the eyes of them that see shall not be dimmed.
Right?
And the ears of them that hear shall hearken.
Right. So now, if you hear this, you take this in, your eyes will not be dim. Right? If you can take this in, what you just received here, these few verses, and you can put it to application, your ears is hearkening. I mean, you're not just hearing, but you're listening. And you put this into action, you're going to reap the benefit. Right? You're going to reap the benefit. In order to have a successful marriage, you got to have a good husband and a good wife. That makes a successful marriage. Right? So we're going to talk about the husband first, but then we're going to talk about the wife too. Trust me. Right? We're going to get there. We're going to deal with the man first because he's first. We're going to deal with him first. Okay? Isaiah 13, verse 12.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
If you let the Most High rule you, He will make you more precious than fine gold. You will be in higher request than the money in the bank. You will be much more important than that money. Read on.
Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Right, of Ophir, which is a very precious gold. So he said the most precious gold they know of, a man is going to be more precious than that. Right? Nowadays, we have women that say, I don't need no man. But man, when you look at our men out there in this world, you be like, man, sometimes you kind of understand. Right? Because they ain't got no wherewithal, no self-control, no answers. They got more questions, than a 5-year-old. They're supposed to have the answers at this point. By the time we went over this last class, you reach the age of being a husband. What's the age of being a husband? 20. You're supposed to have some answers. You're supposed to have some answers by then. Right? You're supposed to know something, how to do something, or how to figure it out, how to get it done. All right? We got to put pressure on our young men. Anybody understand this? To be men. There's no pressure put on them to be men. They say go to school, get an education, get a wife, and do whatever she tells you to do. Right? There's no pressure on a young man to fully form himself as a man, as a prince, a king, a leader. One that you don't just rule because it's your position, you rule because you got the answers. They want you to rule. I much rather follow somebody that I admire and respect than because they got a title. Right? The husband is to be admired and respected. Right? Not just because of their title. Ezekiel 34, 31. 31.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 31.
Right?
And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men.
Or what?
Are men.
Or who?
Are men.
Are men. So if you don't know what you're supposed to fulfill, how you supposed to roll, now you know. As men. Right? Now you know. You got to stand up rightly. You got to think. You got to use this most powerful weapon you got in the arsenal. It's your mind. You have to be steadfast. You can't be unstable, double-minded, saying one thing one day, something else the other day. You got to make Torah guide you. Okay? If you do these things, you'll be more precious than the gold of Ophir. You'll be that rock behind the wind. You'll be irreplaceable. Okay? Let's go back to Ephesians. Ephesians 5, 20, 22, I think we read 23. 23? Just read 20. Read 23 again.
Book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife,
Right?
even as a Mashiach is the head of the church.
Anybody think they wiser than the Mashiach Yahushua? If you are, you crazy as hell, right? Something wrong with you, right? So if Yahushua is wiser than all of us, what should the husband be to the wife? He should be that wise one, that controlled one. Okay? It's his job to be that. In this society, they push women to want to be, they say equal. They use the word equal. As if there's some sort of measuring stick. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. It's not about being equal. It's about you being a husband and you being a wife. Right? You're not being the same thing. Right? You can only way two things can be equal if they are the same. Make sense? Right? You gotta be the same. But you're not the same, so why are we want to be equal? Are we gonna be like co-husbands? Or co-wives? What the hell are we doing? Right? It don't make no sense. When we say things and we think we're saying something that's wisdom, it makes no sense. You're not co-wives, you're not co-husbands, so being equal is not even a point. It's not even it doesn't even fit the situation. Okay. You're a husband, a woman, or wives. You play your role to the best of your ability. She plays her role to the best of her ability. And we all benefit. Right? We all benefit. You go to work, you got managers, supervisors, directors. A director telling a supervisor saying we all equal. The director looking at you like, you're tripping. I'm a director. You're a supervisor. We're not equal. Now we might be equal in that we both got two arms, 2 hands, 2 feet. You know, we both drive here and come in. There's certain things that we have in common, but it doesn't make us equal. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get those thought patterns. We got to break those thought patterns out of our spirit. All right? Our sisters, our brothers, we got to break that out your spirit. There's no equal. There's actually everybody is different. Everybody has their role. Everybody got to do their job, their thing. And everybody do their job excellently and excel at it, and we all benefit from it. Read that again.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife,
right?
Even as a Mashiach is the head of the church.
Come on.
And he is the savior of the body.
Come on.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto a Mashiach,
right?
So let the wives be to their own husbands, right? In everything.
Come on.
Husbands, love your wives.
Do what?
Love your wives.
Read on.
Even as a Mashiach also loved the church.
Read on.
And gave himself for it.
And gave himself for it. So he loved the church. He loved Israel, because the church is talking about Israel. Then he gave himself for it. Allowed himself to be crucified for the nation. Okay. He held it down for his family. As husbands, we hold it down for our family. You understand that? Right? You are the line of defense. Right? You're it. So if you're in that position, you have to defend your family. If your family gotta be defended from you, there's a problem, right? If you not, if the family's worrying about you, then you're out of position, right? You're out of position, and you're not following Torah. Okay, yeah. Go on. Mashiach gave himself for the church. Husbands are instructed to love their wives as the Mashiach loved the children of Israel, or loves the children of Israel. Okay? You know,
Husbands, love your wives, even as Amasiah also loved the church, and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
so now we went right back to where he was. He washed us by the water, by the word. What we were reading earlier, what is the husband supposed to do to his wife? Supposed to teach her. How can you teach if you don't know? Okay? If the Mashiach washed us with the word, how are you supposed to cleanse your household? With the what? It's not complicated. Scriptures tell you what to do. Right? We might make it more complicated than it is, but it really isn't. Husbands are to love their wives. What is love? Give me Romans. Thirteen and 10.
The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
What does love do?
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Read on.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
It's real simple. Love worketh no ill towards his neighbor. So if there's love between, the scriptures have instructed the husband to love his wife. I cannot work no ill towards my wife. I can't do anything to my wife that's going to cause her to be injured or cause her to be, somehow against her. Everything I do is for her upliftment. Now, she may not like something that I do. That's not what we're going with, right? Because as parents, we know sometimes we do things for our children, they don't like it, but it's what's best for them, right? Same thing with your wife. You might do some things, tell your wife certain things. She may not want to hear it, but it is what's best for them. You have taken the time to make sure what you're saying is what's best for them. You put them in a position that they can strive, right? And they can be fine. Okay. Read that again.
The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law. So we use the commandments to make this determination on what we need to do, what we should do, shouldn't do. Does that always happen? No.
Like when Christ said he came to fulfill the law and he loved God, of course, kept his commandments, is that kind of just, is that explaining it? Like basically how he fulfilled it because, or is that just really?
Yeah, he came to fulfill the law, he came to do the law. Yeah, to show us how to be righteous. You know what I mean? But what he fulfilled is prophecy, because he said he'd come back to do away with the prophets.
Luke 24:44.
Right, well, yeah, that was written of him, but I won't go there right now. Right? I start getting on that, and I'm going to go off into, into a whole other breakdown. And a lot of information we got coming up. So, the love is an fulfilling of the law. How are you supposed to love your wife? According to the commandments of the Most High. Right? Does this always happen? No. Sometimes we deal falsely with our wives. Give me Malachi. Two and 14.
Book of Malachi, chapter 2, verse 14. Yet ye say, wherefore? Because the Lord hath been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth,
Right?
against whom thou hast dealt treacherously,
That what?
treacherously, yet is she companion,
She is dying.
is thy companion, and the wife of thy covenant.
Right. So he used an example here, God the Most High, of how Israel dealt as a husband and wife, and a husband dealing treacherously with his wife. You know what I mean? Dealing, the wife of his youth. I mean, the wife that he had from young, and he's dealing treacherously with her. You know, being bitter, things that the scriptures say we ought not to do. Okay. You hear all stories, husbands stealing their wives' money, and running up the, just being a menace, doing all kind of manner of foolishness, getting into physical altercations, beating them up, verbal abusive, playing a mind game, trying to trick them out, just being real bitter towards them. So you feel like you want to get them back. They become more enemies than anything else. It was an old song that said it's a thin line, right? Right? Between love and hate. Right? It's something that you're passionate about. You're passionate about it in love, then you be passionate about it in hate too. Right? And that switch can go from one end to the other to two extremes really quickly. Right?
I can't have a nobody can.
That's it, man. I love you so much, I'm a killer. But we laugh, but some people think that way. Right? It's crazy, but if people think that way, that's not according to Torah. That's treacherously dealing with your wife. Read on.
And did not he make one, yet had he the residue of the Spirit?
Right.
And wherefore one, that he might seek a godly seed. Therefore take heed to your spirit,
right,
and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth.
Right. Take heed of your spirit, right? Are you angry with the woman, with the wife of thy youth? Check your spirit. And if you are, you need to cut that spirit. Right? Because you gotta understand we're both joint heirs of the grace of life. There's things that we're gonna fall short. We both gonna fall short. Right? But if you full of bitter and malice and anger and envy and strife, you are against the Most High right now. You're thinking you're against the woman, you're against the Most High. Okay. So we gotta be knowledgeable. Okay. We know.
Verse 16.
Right?
For the Lord, the God of Israel, said that he hated.
He what?
He hated.
He hated.
Putting away. For one covereth violence with his garment.
Right?
Saith the Lord of hosts.
Right?
Therefore take heed to your spirit that ye deal not treacherously.
Right. So what? A lot of people, I'll put her away. Because you deal treacherously with her. You hate her, so you just put her away. Get rid of her. Get out of my house. Get out of my car. Get out of my everything, right? You ain't kick the damn woman out, right? Why? Right? Because you're dealing treacherously. At the end of it, you really take it down, so wait, all this is happening because I'm dealing treacherously. That's where the fight came from in the first place. Okay. That's why I start this, and I'm gonna dealing with the man, because the man has to have control. Gotta have control. Your spirit first, right? Control of your tongue, control of your actions, right? As men, we gotta have control. Get Ezra's in the Apocrypha. We're instructed to have our house in order. No one can do that for you. You gotta do that. That work is on you. Get your house in order. Get your affairs in order. Second Ezra. $14. Yeah. 13.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14, verse 13.
No.
Now therefore, set thine house in order.
Right. So we're going to talk to the men. Set your house in order. First get yourself in order, then get your house in order. You know?
Now therefore, set thine house in order,
Uh-huh.
and reprove thy people,
Right?
and comfort such of them as be in trouble.
Read.
And now renounce corruption.
Come on.
Let go from thee mortal thoughts.
Read on.
Cast away the burdens of man.
Read on.
Put off now the weak nature.
Come on.
And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee.
That's a lot of work. But that work is our work, man. We got to do it. We got to set aside that weak nature. We can't be worrying about things that's most heavy onto you. You got to get it to the Most High. You can't be sitting there worrying about stuff. You are the head of the house. The house will move how you move. If you out of order, your house be out of order. You understand that? You got to be in order. Okay. Before we can even address the wife situations, which we will, right? We as men have to be in order. Okay. We're gonna get the grunt, the pressure is on the men. Okay. The Heavenly Father made you in his image, in his likeness. He gave Adam dominion. He gave Adam Eve. He did not give Eve Adam. You understand that? It's a very important understanding. He gave Adam Eve. He did not give Eve Adam. Therefore, what was Adam's sin? That he did what? He hearkened to his wife. We went over that last week. Right? He's out of order. I gave you a wife, the Most High said, and you listening to her instead of me. How that work? Right? You're backwards. We got to learn from that example and say, no, we're not going that way. Does that mean that you can't talk to your wife? You don't hear what she's saying? No. But you don't put it before the Most High God. Everybody say that? No. Put it before the Most High God. Like I said, as long as she's not hindering you from doing your work for the Father, all right, she's going to grow in her speed. Right? But if she is, oh no, I got to get corrected. I got to get corrected, moved out the way, or whatever. Right? That's when that's when the hard decisions start coming out. Right? And you will not be hindered from keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Yahweh. You understand that? And this is something you got to pass on to your brothers, because I see it. Brothers get wives, and then they start to get missing. There was mighty Hebrew Israelites. They was here at every class. Then they get a wife, and you see them sometimes now. Right? sad as it might be, right? This instruction is what they need. Don't put what the Most High gives you. Don't put the gift before the giver. Never put the gift over the giver. Most High give you a child. Don't put that child before the Most High God. Okay? Don't say, well, my child, therefore I can't move. Oh, my husband or my wife, therefore I can't do this and I can't do that. Are you putting them before the Most High? You really doing that? Because the Most High is going to judge you on that. Right? Because He's the giver. He gives us children. He gives us wives. He gives us houses. He gives us cars. He gives us businesses. He gives us everything that we have. What you got?
Matthew 10:37.
1037. Let me see what we got. Let's see if that's a sharp knife or a butter knife. 1037. Let's see what he pulled. Let's see what he pulled. Let's see what tells the cut that for.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
That's it. That's a sharp one. Representing for Hakaparia or evil. I got you. All right? Yeah. You're not worthy of the blessings that Yah has given you if you worrying about the blessings more than the giver. Read on.
And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Come on.
And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me.
What does it mean, take his cross? What does the cross represent? What happened on the cross? Death.
Christ died.
He died. He died on the cross, right? How did he die on the cross?
Sacrifice.
The sacrifice. Well, what sacrifice? He was crucified.
I'll think it's torture.
He was tortured.
Torture.
That's exactly that's the right word. Who can't pick up their problems and follow the Mashiach Yahushua? Because you're going to go through some things when you're going to follow Christ. When you're going to really follow the Messiah. You're going to suffer some stuff. Suffer it then. Right? Because it's worth it. Because you know what? A lot of our people, they suffer out in the world for nothing. They suffer with no reward. You know what you're suffering for. You're suffering to gain that crown. You understand you're working for a crown? Let's get that real quick.
I was going to get James 21:21. Or John 21.
They know they're working for a crown. Get second Esdras. The second chapter, the 43rd verse.
44th verse.
43rd verse. Second chapter, second Esdras, second chapter, 43rd verse. Working for a crown, man.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 2, verse 43. And in the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest. And upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? And he answered and said unto me,
Who are they?
These be they that have put off the mortal clothing.
Have done what?
Have put off the mortal clothing.
You put off those mortal clothing, that mortal thought, that mortal body. Read on.
And put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High.
And confess the name of the Most High. Read on.
Now are they crowned.
Now they what?
Now are they crowned.
You working to be crowned. Everybody understand this? Now are you crowned. Read on.
And receive songs. Then said palms. And receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms?
Who's going to give you the palms and the crown? Read on.
In their hands. So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God.
Is the who?
It is the Son of God.
Mashiach Yahweh is going to put the crown on your head. So when you suffer, you're suffering for a great reward. You're not just suffering in vain. So if you got to suffer, suffer. If you got to lose, lose. Do what you got to do. Go through whatever that cross is for you. Suffer it. So that you bring forth, you stay steadfast in righteousness. Okay. So that you get your crown. Okay. Nobody steal your crown. Okay?
Proverbs 16:31.
31, what you got?
Revelations 3:11.
11. All right, you can write those down, but I don't want to go off into. I just touch it. Just touch it. That'll be a good class about crowns. The reward for suffering. Right? And that'll be a whole class. But as men, we have to understand that it ain't going to be easy to fulfill our office, to do what the Most High is calling us to do. He's calling us to be righteous in every aspect of our life, calling us to be husbands and fathers, and fathers to the fatherless, right? Look out for the widow. Look out for our people that don't have. Speak for the ones that don't have a voice. You got to be stand up men inside the Most High, standing uprightly. The scripture said. For all these commandments, you stand uprightly. Right? Meaning that you are very respected in the way you conduct yourself. Right? Man of the Most High ain't gonna be pants sagging and bopping through the street. You're a man of the Most High. Right? You will stand up uprightly. People will notice something about it. They say, wait, something different about that brother. Because the way he moved. He's not like everybody else. Right? Because you represent the Most High in home. Let me prove that from you. Look at that scripture. A man may be known. Ecclesiasticus. His walk, his gait, his apparel. It's like a woman.
That's 19 and 29.
1929 for a while. There it is. A man may be known. Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 29. A man may be known by his look.
By his what?
By his look.
Right. So now if you're a man righteous, man of Most High, you're a husband and a father, right? You carry yourself a certain way. You have responsibilities. You have souls that are waiting on your word. So you got to be careful with your words. Okay. He said a man may be known by his look, how he presents himself.
And one that have understanding by his countenance.
By his what?
By his countenance.
What is your countenance? Your facial expression. That's your countenance. Right? If you always looking like
Confused.
I'll use that one, confused and bewildered, people like, this dude is confused. You're always laughing and joking all the time. Look for guys a clown. Scripture say a wise man is grave. Somebody find that for me. Wise man is grave. Right? What does the word grave mean in the scripture? It means serious. Sometimes you be serious. Where's that at? Huh? It's right there.
It's similar to what you said.
I thought it was in the. No, wise man's grave. Wasn't that Timothy's grave? Good Timothy is 2 Timothy 2 or something. You know.
When thou meetest him,
Mhm.
a man's attire
Right?
and
What's
excessive
your attire? The clothes you wear. You a man of Most High. You not wearing no skinny jeans. Or what they call it, a romper. You go to the store nowadays, but I don't know, boy. They show that men's clothes look like women's clothes, man. You know, they making us clothes, it just ain't right. All right? Like a blouse. Talking about that's a shirt. Right? The collar of your shirt is all out over here. You going off. Right? You showing man cleavage, you going off. That is not the way of a man supposed to dress. Too much shine, too much shimmer on your shirt, too bedazzled. I don't know. I can deal with a little bit of studs. You know, we men with the shine, I get it. But it's too much. It's like you about to perform. This is what I see when I walk outside. You know what I mean? You know, this is what you see when you just in your daily travels. You look at a brother and you go, what the hell does he have on? How can I take this person serious? Right? How could that man lead a household, lead a wife, lead children, lead a community, lead a meeting, right? When he can't present himself as a leader with order. Everybody got their style. You don't want to have a little style. People do things a different way. Everybody got a little different style, and have your style. But be in order. Read. So it says apparel, you know.
a man's apparel, a man's attire, and excessive laughter, and gap.
That's gate. So let's fully go to gate. Excessive laughter. Always laughing about everything. Right? That's not good. Now you go to that scripture, Ecclesiastes 20:21. That excessive laughter. Read that. 21 and 20, yeah, sorry.
The book of Sirach, chapter 21, verse 20. A fool lifteth up his voice with laughter, but a wise man doth smile,
Scarce.
smile a little.
Right. Always laughing. Everything is a big joke.
What about Ecclesiastes 20 and 20? Would that be a precept?
What did I say?
20 and 20.
No.
No?
Let's go to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just a look. It's just laughter. We're just analyzing too much excessive laughter. All these are attributes. Why I'm going through all this because we're looking at attributes of manhood, because attributes of manhood is attributes of husbandry, right? As attributes of being a father, being a leader, right? So you got that on lockdown. You do that right, then you will see 9 times out of 10, if the woman gonna be with you, she's gonna be in order, but you're gonna realize you're this kind of person, right? But you present yourself out of order person, then you're gonna get an out of order wife. We're gonna get there in a moment. Let's finish this here.
Okay, 30.
Engage. Oh, read that part again, that last verse.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
A man's attire and excessive laughter,
Right?
and gait.
And gait. What is gait? How you walk. Right? How you walk. Right? Do you walk uprightly? Do you walk around and you walk? Right? Or do you walk like you homeboy from the street? Right? How you walk, even you got to think about. What are you portraying right now? Right? Well, you might see a cat walking, you already know. That dude got a little sugar in his boots. You see the way he walking? Right? Got a little sass to his walk right there. Little, how do I say, zesty. Got a zesty walk. Right? You know that he ain't know something ain't right there. That's off of a walk. You can determine what's going on in somebody's mind. Right? You never think something so simple as the way you walk. Tell somebody about how you are, or should show you how you are. If you are a righteous man, a man of order, you walk as a righteous man of order. You walk uprightly, right? Stand strong, right? What you got to say, you say. You orientate your words, you bring it out, right? You speak like a man. You bring your voice, you project your voice. You got to raise your voice to project your voice, right? If you're a man of the Most High, you're a leader, you're a father, and if somebody asks you a question and you're going to answer it, and all they hear is, sound like I'm not saying nothing, but I am saying something. Yeah. Right? But speak up. What you have to say is important. You need to treat it that way. If you don't treat what you got to say as important, nobody else will. Anybody say that? If you don't value what's coming out your mouth, the person you speaking to will not value what's coming out your mouth. You can't expect to be more righteous than you, to uphold you at a higher level than you hold yourself. Right? Simple man with lessons, but these things are overlooked. Read. Gate and what? Show you who he is, right? That's finished. All right. Get Sirach 26 now. Let's start the turntable. Sirach 26.
Which one?
Yes, come.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26, verse 1.
Right.
Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife,
Right.
for the number of his days shall be doubled. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband,
right,
and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace.
Read on.
A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord.
There it is. Simple. Right? You want a good wife, you gotta be a good brother. Okay. You find a virtuous wife, you found something really good. What is a virtuous woman?
Moral standards. He said it.
Wow.
I just said it.
In Proverbs 31 verse 10.
Excuse me.
No.
You got extra highlight?
Yeah, come.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Right.
For her price is far above rubies.
Read on.
The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her.
Read on.
So that he shall have no need of spoil.
What is spoil?
Something going to waste.
No.
Not that type of sport. Another woman?
No. No. What is spoil?
Right.
Huh?
Right. I guess being pampered, like being taken care of excessively.
No.
Spoiled.
What is spoil? You said? You said drugs? No. What? Nope. Let's read it again. Read it, think of it in context.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, Verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Right?
For her price is far above rubies.
Right. She's very valuable. Read on.
The heart of her husband
Right?
doeth safely trust in her.
Her husband don't got to worry about her. He safely trusts her. Read on.
So that he shall have no need of spoil.
Because he don't have no need of spoil. What is that?
Like,
He don't have to worry about her going out doing anything. Something like
Right?
a woman going
He trusts
out,
her.
he trusts in her.
Right?
He don't have to worry. when
He don't have no. He has no need of spoil. Nope. What is?
of the treasures
What's
of
another
the loot.
definition of spoil? What's a biblical definition of spoils? Where do you get spoils? Goods,
Goods.
right? Wealth,
I was thinking loot.
loot. Those are spoils, right? When you go and you conquer a nation, you take the spoils. What do? You take their valuable things. If you have a virtuous woman, you ain't gotta have a bunch of money to keep her. You have no need of spoil. You don't have to be worried about, man, I gotta have enough money. I gotta have enough money, right, to keep her happy. She's a virtuous woman. She gonna make do with what you bring, right? Not only she gonna make do what you bring,
The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her,
right?
so that he shall have no need of spoil.
Come on.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
I mean, listen, you can't beat that deal, right? She do you good and not evil all the days of your life. Okay, read on.
She seeketh wool and flax,
Uh-huh.
and worketh willingly,
Willingly.
willingly,
Willingly. There you go. Slow down.
with her hands.
Right.
She is like the merchant's ship. She bringeth her food from afar.
Right.
She raiseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her husband, her household. It's like, keep going. And a portion to her maidens.
Mm-hmm.
She considereth a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
She girdeth her loins with the strength, and strengtheneth her arms.
Take care of herself.
She perceiveth that her merchandise is good.
Right.
Her candle goeth not out by night.
She ain't too sleepy.
She laid her hands to the spindle, right?
Yeah, spindle.
The spindle.
Spindle.
The spindle. She laid her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff.
Right.
She stretcheth out her hand to the poor,
Right.
yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy.
Right. So let's talk about all that we just read. She got a lot of good attributes. Right. Take care of her family. Take care of herself. Take care of finances. Add to the house's finances. Right. She went and considered a field. Planted a vineyard, getting the things that the house needs, right? She's caring about everybody, not just the whole house. She cares about the maidens. What's maidens? Young women, right? As a young woman as a maiden, right? No matter her age, but she's young. She's a young woman, right? So these are things that she's doing in the house. He don't have to do this for her. She's also what? Charitable, giving charity to people. She has a good name in the community. Why? Because the way she carries herself. You see what I'm saying? So the man got to be upright, but the woman has to be upright also. She got to be upright. A righteous woman is a portion given to a righteous man. You magnify your righteousness, then your woman got to step up her game. Okay. You can read on in Proverbs 31. I'm not going to go too far into it. Let's go back to Ephesians. Let's get back to let's take it all the way in. Matter of fact, before you get Ephesians, I'm sorry. Give me Titus 2 and 5.
2 and 2 is what you're looking for.
2 and 2?
For the grade, that's what you're looking for. Right?
Titus, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So certified.
2 and 3.
The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 3. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, as not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed.
Right, because when you don't do these things, you blaspheme the word of Most High. You say you're an Israelite, right? You say that you're a child of Yah, a daughter of Zion, but you're disobedient. You're not a keeper at home. You're not discreet. You're not chaste. How could you be a daughter of Zion? How could you be a daughter of Yah? These are the things that the elder woman is supposed to be teaching the younger woman, how to be good wives. To be a good wife, you got to be a good woman. But we went over that in class 1, when Eve was brought to Adam, right? What did Adam call her? He said, "You are,
The flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone.
you're my wife."
My wife.
Eve was Adam's wife. When the Most High brought Eve to Adam, it wasn't that he was creating a woman for the first time. He was creating a wife for Adam. That's what was being created. We went over that in 101. I went over that in depth. All right. That's what was happening in Genesis. A wife was being created. The first wife was being created. Eve is the first wife in the scriptures. Okay. Given to a man, which was Adam. Ha-Adam. Right? The Adam. Okay. So we understand that all these attributes is what's going to bring forth a healthy marriage. If you're a woman and you falling short on these attributes, you got to be real. You got to think, well, shouldn't my marriage be going well? Right? Because I'm not doing this. I'm not discreet. I'm not chaste. I'm not. If you're not these things, you can only expect problems in the house. Right? Cause and effect. Most High gave us every instruction we need. Okay. Every instruction we need is given to us right here, laid out. Okay. First Peter's, go back to First Peter 3 and 1 now.
The book of First Peter, chapter 3, verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands,
Right?
that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by conversation of the wives.
Right. I mean, that be good examples to your fellow sisters. Wives, be a good example. Right? That in your conversation, somebody would hear a righteous woman speak and just be moved by her, the way she deals with her family, her daily recourse. They can tell she's a righteous woman. Right? This is a good woman. Did you hear what she said? She rises it up when it's yet still night, making up that Ackee salvage before everybody woke up. Right? I gotta put that out there. I guess by an idea, right? Right? While everybody's still asleep, you waking up to the smell of it. Yeah? That's what's up. But that's virtuous movements. That's virtuous moves for a woman. Okay? Be discreet, Not everything that goes on your house goes on in your house, ends up on Facebook.
Hmm.
That's not discreet. Snapchat.